Good evening, my beloved friends and family. It is with a joyous heart that I am able to touch back with you on this very, very, very special day. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that 45 years after those people gathered in my kitchen that we'd still be addressing the Gifts of the Spirit Church. Yes, I was a medium and saw many things into the future, but I couldn't see everything. And it is with such pride and joy that I am with you today in what I was inspired to do and to lay down, to provide that foundation that you spoke of, and for it to have continued all these years is just remarkable to me. But yet I am so proud, and I am so happy that you keep coming to learn and to grow and to change and to blossom and to be a lighthouse in the world. For your understanding of the spirit world will be an important factor in many people's lives. For each and every one of you who are here today, and for many people who are not able to attend today, you will be lighthouses into the world. For there are people still in the future who you will be teaching, and you will be taking the seeds that I planted into your brain, into your knowledge base that have blossomed and grown, and you will be sharing that knowledge with people in the future. Because as time goes on, things will become even more chaotic and more confusing for many people. The medium whom I'm speaking to has been shared with you his experiences as of late of how he has been rattled to the bone in order to, when he learned what the truth really is. And yet he's been experiencing that for many years. Imagine what it'll be like for people who have not had that gradual education, when they learn the actual truth and how things have been manipulated and how they've been lied to by all the religions on this planet. And when people who have followed in blind faith and with all their heart learn that they have been misled for centuries, it will not be easy for them to understand and for them to be able to cope with it. And it is the people who have the spiritual knowledge that you are gaining who will assist those people and comfort those people and train those people how to turn within and connect with the world of spirit and no longer send their thoughts and energies and prayers to a made-up God up in the sky someplace that never ever existed. The days of those fairy tales are coming to an end. And I am so proud that I had a small part in training everyone, in teaching everyone, and preparing them for the truths that are coming to life. The world that we will inhabit once this knowledge is common knowledge, and the age of knowledge is here, it will be mind-boggling for you, because it will be like a rebirth of the planet Earth. People will learn how to live in harmony with one another. People will learn how to live in harmony with the earth. People will also be in harmony with beings from other worlds, from other planets. You are struggling these days because you understand that the fossil fuels that you use are dangerous to the planet and to the environment. But yet you do not have an alternative that works well, and therefore many things are happening that are causing your world discomfort, especially financially. When this change happens and the people from other planets will be talking to you directly, they will bring the technology, they will bring the understanding and the knowledge of you to have a plentiful energy source. You will be like many other planets that travel on beams of light, no longer needing oil, no longer needing to pollute the planet. But that source of energy will be very helpful to the earth. So it will be a major change that will occur, and it will still be rough waters going from where you are now to where you will end up, or the change will bring much turbulence. And it is for that reason that we encourage you to spend time sitting, blending with the spirit energy, blending with the crystalline energy as you are learning about, so that you can have some guidance when you need it. For times will be challenging, and we are always here to help. We are only a thought away, so you can send us your thoughts. But you must remember, we cannot come in and just clobber you with an answer. You have to sit in the quiet and allow us some time, some room to speak with you, to give you your response. It's not like an email that can be sent and it just ends up in your mailbox. Well, in a sense it is, but the mailbox is all mental, and it's in your brain centers that will translate it, and therefore you will suddenly have a feeling or an impression or a vision or hear us any way that that center resonates within your physicality. That is how we communicate. We communicate through thought. In a way, it's like mental telepathy, if you want to use that term, through thought energy. And that energy responds to the centers in your brain. And depending on how your brain is wired, is how you will hear, how you will sense us. Some of you have the center for visions hooked up, so that when that center gets stimulated, you see a vision, you will see something, and will know that we are there. Some of you would hear, some of you would just have a feeling. And for some of you, it will just be a thought that's in your mind and you won't know how it got there. It matters not. What you need to become aware of is the sensitivity to realize that that is us communicating with you, giving you guidance, giving you suggestions. Do we insist that you follow every word we say? No, you have the free will to ignore us. But we are here to give you our opinion of what we see lying ahead for you. And therefore, we share that with you. And what you choose to do with that information, whether you choose to do it, accept it, ignore it, that is up to you. But you have the birthright to the communication with our dimension. And therefore, it is happening and it will happen, but you have to be open to it and you have to develop the skill, just as a small child has to play the piano on a regular basis to become a pianist. They have to develop their skill. They have to develop it. They have to practice. This medium that I'm speaking with you through, he was one who practiced. He dedicated parts of his day so that he could sit and develop the ability to have us work through him. As he told you, he went from that small child who was learning to play the piano to being quite accomplished at this point in certain areas. And we are most pleased about that. But it takes the practice. So we are urging you to take the time in your day to do what Jesus said, go into your closet of prayer. But the prayer is not to send a message out to an invisible God and man in the sky. No, it is to turn within, to be blend with the divine crystalline energy, and to sit in that energy, be in that energy, and start to see what you can sense, what you can feel. As you practice, you will start to feel the difference between your normal consciousness and when you go into the energy. You will be able to feel that shift. You will be able to recognize it, and it'll become easier and easier for you to go and to go from your normal state into accessing your divine energy. For every person has that divine energy within them. It is their soul. And the soul energy is really much, much bigger than the physical body. It is very powerful, and it is there. And we ask you to access it and use it. It is such a immense pleasure for me to have this opportunity to speak and teach once again. Yes, I do quite a bit of teaching over here in my dimension, so I'm not rusty at all. But I do enjoy coming through to speak to the physical people that I loved and knew. And for some of you who I may not have known while I walked the physical world, I certainly know you now. And I certainly visit you now in your homes, no matter where they may be, or what part of the planet they may be. Or it has been quite an exciting adventure for us to watch people come through and join this service from many parts of the world. I used to speak quite often about Gifts of the Spirit Church being a spiritual filling station, that people would run here and there, and when their gas tank of spirituality ran dry, they would stop and come to church for a short period of time, get re-energized, and continue on their way, living their lives, exploring their journeys. And in a sense, this has happened now on an even grander scale, because people from many continents have stopped by to listen and to learn and to share. And that has been quite exciting for us, something that I could never imagine when I walked the earth plane. So the world has changed. The physical world has changed since I walked on it. Things are not the way they were. They aren't even the way I thought they would turn out. But it's unfolding the way it is supposed to unfold. And we want to make sure that you completely understand that you do not walk alone. We walk with you, and we walk by you. And we ask you to open yourselves up to us, and we will contact you directly. We will work with you directly, just as we've worked with this particular instrument who's speaking right now, who thought at one point that was a total impossibility for him. It can be done, my friends. It can be done. You just have to approach it with the knowingness that all is possible. everything is possible. Remember that crystalline energy is the energy of God Creator. All possibilities are there. You are all the possibilities. You are God. You have the same energy as the God that created the universe. You have all of that. You are all of that. It's not separate. It's not taken away from you. It's there. You just have to blend with it and start working with it. And that, my friends, is the greatest advice I can give to you these days. Become your own God that you are. Bring that forward. Be that God. Be in that God energy. I am overwhelmed. It is more than I can express to you. Been a pleasure. And know that the people who have come here tonight, many of those who you cannot see, are many people that were in many of those pictures that you saw. Friends of mine, students of mine, we are all here and we are all celebrating with you the fact that this journey continues. We are celebrating that you are becoming more godlike. You are learning to access your God energy. And that is a great joy for all of us. Because once we are here in the world of spirit, and we no longer are in a physical body, and we come to realize what we have experienced in the physical body and how limiting that is, and how we are able to express within our spirit bodies, which is God energy again, so much freer because we are not caught up in the density of the physicality. We communicate through telepathy, through mind thought, and we are so happy that you are working towards becoming gods in the physical world. That you know that possibility exists, because that is the key. If you do not know it's possible, you can never achieve it. So by understanding that you are gods and you can create things and create your own destiny through crystalline energy, that is a very liberating concept, more than you can realize. And we are so happy that you are starting to understand this and are starting to work on this path. So with that, my friends, I am going to bid you adieu and withdraw. The fact that this journey continues in your world. It is quite special and quite overwhelming. For so many people leave their physical bodies and come to our world. And the things that they created go into dust and fall into history and are forgotten. And the fact that this did not happen and that it is continuing to live is beyond all my comprehension. My friends, I leave you with my blessings, with my love, with my encouragement for you to continue walking the path of your journey of unfoldment, to hold your head up high in the spiritual knowledge that you have, to walk forward as the example to others, to how to be, how to live a spiritual life. And we ask, and to do that with the knowledge that we walk with you. It is an amazing accomplishment for you to be achieving. My peace be with you.